You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters. We're so happy you're here with us today. I'm Lian Dolan in Pasadena, California. I'm the youngest sister. I'm a writer, a producer, a podcaster, and I'm worried that my email inbox is just going to blow up with all these Cyber Monday pitches. All right, I want to know, sisters, what was the lamest Cyber Monday pitch you got yesterday? Jewel?
Okay, well, mine wasn't more of a pitch. It was an item. They were really pushing me to buy a Bartesian. Have you seen this? It's a coffee maker that makes cocktails. Okay. You know, I just got a new coffee maker, an espresso. So look, imagine an espresso, but now instead of getting a little cappuccino in the morning, I can have an old fashioned because that's what's
in the morning. In the morning.
That seems in the morning, Liz. You can have whatever you want. Would you like a Manhattan with your lunch? Sure, because if you have a Bartesian, it looks the same.
Wow. Okay.
That seems dangerous. Julie Dolan in Dallas, Texas, everybody. Liz, what was the lamest Cyber Monday pitch you got?
Okay, this is Liz Dolan in Santa Monica. I'm a marketer. I'm a podcaster. And I guess that's why I got the big cyber pitch, epic deals on new web hosting plans, Lian. Our web platform. They were willing to knock 86% off the cost of an epic new plan upgrade. So, which really doesn't seem like something you would ever give to someone. I guess that's
that would be quite a gift, Liz.
It's like every marketing department in every company, no matter what the product, felt like they had to send out a Cyber Monday deal. Yes. And they did. Yes.
Well, that's why the reason we picked this question was I got one yesterday that made me laugh out loud. And the subject line was, we call it Cheddar Monday. And that was from the Tillamook Cheese Company.
Well, that's a good one.
I was like, that. No one calls it Cheddar Monday, Tillamook. Not even you. Okay. That doesn't really rhyme with cyber. It's just not a thing.
I mean, well, again, you shouldn't be making cocktails with your coffee maker either. It's just whatever. Yes.
But everyone always needs cheese. So, I'd go with that one.
All right, today on the show, let's see what we have. Oh, Liz, you have a couple of news stories about friendship, both for men and for women and for Xers and boomers, right?
Yes, there's good news and there's bad news about friendship, Lian. Sorry to say. Well, I'm feeling bad about one of the stories, so I'm sure you can.
So we're all going to feel badly? Okay, good.
No.
Ooh, that's quite a forward promote. Excellent work. All right, Julie, do you have some fun stories you're going to talk about? Travel? How about the travel destinations?
Travel destinations. The New York Times, 25 places you need to visit in 2023. Do you have your 2023 travel plans all worked out yet, Lian?
I don't. I do not.
Well, I have selected a place for you to go with your family.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. And then I have an investigative report here at Satellite Sisters. This really caught my eye. I'd like to thank the journalists at Real Simple because the hardworking journalists.
I can already tell where this is going.
Okay.
This is news you need to know. What is better for your hair? Air drying or blow drying?
Okay.
All right. Think about it.
Is this a trick question?
It is not. It is. There are facts, Julie. There are facts.
Oh, and hair facts. Good.
And studies, and there are some terms in this article you are going to enjoy. So we're gonna talk about that. But a little holiday wrap up. Julie, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was fine until until the trip home. And let me start by saying there was a white Cadillac traveling southbound on I-45 in Texas. And let me just say, you are very lucky because State Trooper D. Wemberly, was just about to pull you over for a speeding ticket when he looked across the way on the northbound lane of I-45 and saw the collision that we were involved with.
Oh no.
We are not hurt. No one was hurt. It was stop and go traffic. It was my husband and I. We had all the stuff from Thanksgiving in the car. We stopped. The car behind us stopped, but the car behind that failed to stop.
Oh,
was a 3-car collision in the inside lane. But State Trooper Wemberly saw us, so that was good, and was able to get to the accident pretty quickly. But, I haven't been in an accident in decades. I mean,
it's scary. It's scary.
It really does shake you up. It is very scary. It's very scary on a highway to be in an accident because everybody else is going really, really fast, except for in our lane. And the car that caused the accident, I mean, that car was totaled. I mean,
wow. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
that
was
is
bad.
scary.
It was bad. So we had an ambulance, we had all kinds of things, but it was. They just those state troopers, they really know they know what they're doing, and we fortunately no one was hurt, and fortunately we could drive. We have damage to our car, but we were able to drive our car home, so that was good. We were there, and the driver that crashed into us, he didn't have a driver's license. So he was going to get a big fat ticket from Officer Wembley there. But the rest of us were able to move on. My husband wanted to open the back of our car to see how everything was. But I was like, don't do that because everything might fall out, like the turkey pan, all of that stuff. And we might not be able to close it. But I'm just really glad that we weren't hurt in the accident. And, we'll be able to fix our car, no doubt. The people behind us, they were going to their daughter's wedding. I know. Well, when you bond on the side of the highway, you get in deep. We were checking on them, they were checking on us. So they were on their way to their daughter's wedding. So they wanted to get on their way as well too. So, that was just a little holiday mishap. I mean, one of many traffic accidents that happened over the holidays. Drive carefully, people. Leave room.
Yeah, pay attention. Right. You didn't get any whiplash because that is what.
No, I know. We were really worried about that. Because we did get a bump. But right. I feel fine. My husband says his neck in one little place feels a little weird, but it's not, it's not pain, he said. So we're doing okay. That's what I would say.
No,
okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So how was your Thanksgiving? I know there were a lot of preparations. You were both together. Liz, you were going to be doing some, what was that? Entertainment cooking as part of this?
I think, food theater, I think is what Lian called it.
Food theater. That's right. Yes.
Well, we had an absolutely beautiful day here in Southern California.
We did.
So the saddest thing was that the night before, my son Colin called and his girlfriend had just tested positive for COVID.
No.
So he could not come. She could not come, and his roommate could not come. And that was really put a damper on it because they were all looking forward to coming. Two of them are from the Northwest, so don't have family here. And Los Angeles is a new place for them. So I think they were a little homesick. Plus they were bringing like pies and food.
Yeah. So some free food assignments that meant Lian had to do last minute fill-ins.
Yeah. On dessert, Julie, which is not my strength. So, and I did a really mediocre job. So that put a slight damper on it because we were just really looking forward to the day, but it was a lovely day. We had an extra vegan show up. So I was happy to accommodate her.
Because I think you had made some of the food for the roommate who was vegan. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, you had someone could eat your vegan creations. That's good.
Roommate vegan, girlfriend lactose intolerant. So I had really taken both of those things into account as I prepared, dairy-free gravy, for instance.
Yes.
But anyway, it was just a lovely warm day. We had my in-laws for a couple of hours. That was what they could handle. And then we had a fun group for dinner and everything was lovely. And Liz out there with the food theater cooking the oysters.
Yes. Okay.
Grilling the oysters, Julie. I just want to say, I think maybe my proudest cooking moment ever was when I convinced Lian to test one. She was just going to test one. And, it was the grilled oysters with the butter and Guinness sort of drizzled on it as it comes off the grill. And Lian tasted it, seemed to really enjoy it, and said, I can't believe you made this.
That is the highest compliment that
Yes.
Lian would give to Liz Dolan. Yes. Yes.
So, yes. And I had several customers who would have eaten every single oyster on the grill.
Yes.
And other people are just not shellfish people, which I understand. So there was plenty for the people that loved it and none for the people that didn't. And that's fine. It was
Yes.
good. I was very proud of the way it all turned out.
Yeah, and it was perfect. She was out there grilling and chilling, and people were sitting around and could go up and get an oyster when they wanted. And let's be clear, I enjoy oysters, but sometimes because of my colon surgery, I just have to be careful not to eat.
Yes.
Thanksgiving is a tough day, so I have to really mind how much the volume of what I eat. So I did at the end. I was like, I just want one oyster. So I could have eaten a dozen of them. They were absolutely delicious, Liz, and it was a miracle. I think that you pulled it off and added a lot of fun to Thanksgiving. No, I mean, cooking on someone else's grill, oysters. It seems intimidating to people, but not to Liz. So.
I
Well
mean,
done.
for people who haven't been, maybe have been watching Cooking with Liz, you have to understand for many, many years, Liz's only assignment at Thanksgiving was ice, right? Or, wine, right? Wine or ice. Okay. So the fact that you are now central to the festivities, I mean, Liz, that's a great thing. Good for you. Good
Okay,
for
I
you.
just want to say, Julie, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But I wouldn't say I was central. I mean, Lian's table looked beautiful. Her food was delicious.
Great.
You know how Lian really does it up, decorating the whole house for the holidays. So it was just a pleasure to be at a real Thanksgiving up home with delicious food. So thank you, Lian. I don't want to pretend that I was a little bit sideshow outside, but the big action was inside around the dining room table. And it's also fun just to sit and have the 20-somethings around.
Yes. Yeah.
They are so fun to talk to, and their lives are so different than, say, mine. That part of it was really fun. Having your older son and some of his friends there, I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, my nephew Leo was here, our nephew Leo. So it was fun. Everyone's all grown up. It was really, really enjoyable. And everyone went home with enough turkey and stuffing and cranberry for one sandwich the next day. I didn't have zillions of leftovers, but I had a lot of turkey leftovers. So, and I sent Leo home with the bread too, because I knew he wouldn't have bread. All right, Jewel. So travel destinations. What do we got going?
Don't you get excited about that, to think about 2023 and where in the world you might want to go? And the New York Times does this every year. 25 travel destinations for 2023. And they put together a very impressive group of people to sort of pick out the destinations. Two international.
Isn't it adventures, Julie? Didn't they go way out of their way to do adventures?
Adventures. This is, Liz, they want you to go to a place and feel deeply connected. They wanted you to have a travel experience, is what they said. Okay. Which is different than just hey, go to Paris, see, check that off. This is go somewhere and really feel deeply connected to a place. And that is a transformative experience. And they got together a very distinguished panel. International writers Pico Iyer, who has been on Satellite Sisters, Atash Tazir, architect Toshiki Mori, chef David Zilber, and landscape photographer Victoria Sunburnis. And they really had quite a discussion about what it meant to have a travel experience, where in the world to go. And they had to really cull down their lists. And so it's, it has things on it from going to Spain's Basque country to eat some delicious meal, or going to Norway to see the Norwegian Northern Lights. So you can read through this, and thanks to Liz, it's you will have the link for it. But I picked out a couple for the two of you that I thought would be ideal trips for you, Lian, and your family. You have a family of drivers, right? Yes. Everyone likes to drive, including you. Okay. One of the trips they're recommending in 2023 is to drive the Pan American Highway from Argentina to Alaska. Imagine
Oh,
it.
wow.
You just imagine it. Okay. You are crossing 14 different countries. You have forests, you have tundras, you have peaks, you have deserts, you have the pampas. Okay. It's all happening on this. And you have a team of 4 drivers. Maybe you could get more people too, Lian, and you could drive from Argentina to Alaska. Doesn't that sound kind of exciting?
It does sound
No.
vaguely romantic. No, I'm serious. I think like my husband would go, yeah, that's a trip I would
Yes,
do.
okay.
Oh, yes. So yeah, that sounds pretty romantic, actually.
How
I mean,
long
of
does
course,
that take, Julie?
they would want to do it with speed. That's the problem. Like they would think they were in some sort of rally and they
Yes,
want
a
to do
road
it.
rally. Yeah, they can say, I'm sure you would set a world record for the trip from Argentina to Alaska. So I think that's good. I mean, there was that one, or they were saying you could go work on an organic farm in New Zealand, which I thought might also appeal to you. But that it doesn't
Less
seem like
so. Less
Well,
so.
why do
Okay.
that on vacation if
Yeah.
you do it at home?
Okay, Liz, I was really torn for a trip for you, but there it was at the end. It's like the trip number 25, and they're not really rank ordered, but this I decided was really for you. What you need to do is you need to float in a zodiac to the edge of the human experience. How does that sound? Right?
Where is
Antarctica, Liz. You need to
Oh.
go to Antarctica via Chile. Okay.
Oh,
Then you
okay.
can take a boat and then you get into a little zodiac and you go to the edge of the earth, Liz. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now this is, I mean, that is right up your alley. Okay. I mean, because it's floating involved. Okay.
Yes,
They're
I enjoy.
penguins. I know you like penguins.
Penguins,
But,
sure.
but Liz, you're always pushing yourself,
To
to
the
go to
limit.
the edge, to go somewhere that no one else has been. Imagine that. Is that wonderful?
Okay. All right. I like it. You know, there's a Satellite Sister in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group who I think just got home from Antarctica because she's been posting a lot of great photos in the group. So yes, I am
Okay,
interested, Julie.
okay,
Thank you.
Okay, book it 2023. Now, this list, as I said, had 25 different countries on it, but I have to just call them out on a couple of ones because number one, they recommended you get on the Trans-Siberian Railway and take the train across Russia to Siberia, into Siberia.
Very Dr. Zhivago.
Oh
I'm
my
up for
gosh,
that.
this is the worst idea I have ever heard. You know what that train ride is? It's 9 time zones of poplar trees. Okay, you see nothing. Okay, it's just forest. It's time zones of poplar trees. You're just on this like broken down old train. It's not the Orient Express. Okay, it's you have to bring your own food. You got to watch where you're sleeping. Ugh. Okay, and all
So
you're
have you
looking
been
at is
on this
trees.
train line, Julie?
Yes, I've been on it, not the whole trip, but it's like you think you're going to see something romantic and wonderful, and you don't. You just see trees. And then you get to Vladivostok, okay? And you know what that place looks like? It looks like Volgograd. It has the same like broken, World War II tanks. It's got the same Soviet buildings. You've been on a train for 9 time zones, okay? And you end up in the same place. Do not take that trip. They're wrong on that. Okay. They also recommend.
Really talked me out of it.
Okay. I'm also just quickly going to say they're recommending going to Iran. I think that's a terrible idea right now. Okay, that's enough on that. They recommend the Citadel in Erbil, Iraq, which I have seen. I think this trip is not a good idea, but if you're interested, you should make sure that the airport isn't being bombed right now by Iran. Okay, so that's an issue for you as well. And they're really keen on Cuba. And once again, I just in my own personal protest, I think it's a broken down communist country, and I don't think you should support it. But other than that, I really thought this
go to Cuba. I think Cuba looks great. So
no.
okay.
We agree to disagree, but you have your trips, Pan American Highway, and Liz, float to the edge of the human experience.
Okay. Well, as long as we're talking about travel adventures, I do have some advice I want to ask you to, because I am on the verge of an adventure and now something's come up. Okay. So I decided not to spend another Christmas holiday in a cold, snowy place, old lefty. It's not like I'm back on skis yet, right? So I decided that over this holiday season for New Year's, I am going to Hawaii with some friends. And
that sounds nice.
Sounds super nice, right? And we were going to go to Maui, but then we decided to go to the Big Island. We're all ready to go. There are 4 of us. We're arranging things. So one of my friends who's into the adventure planning, Julie, so he texts me. He's like, we have to do the helicopter trip over the volcano. We just have to do that. And I, like, the old me would have said, yeah, no, I'll give that a pass. I've seen the documentary, but no, I'm like, yes, as long as we're there, heli trip over the volcano, the Mauna Loa volcano there is very famous. Well, guess what blew yesterday?
I know, Liz.
I mean,
that's
oh
an
my
active.
God.
That's
It's
an active
not good.
volcano. Yeah.
So it is not only an active volcano, Julie, it is the world's largest active volcano. And this weekend it erupted for the first time in nearly 40 years. So here's what the agency said in an advisory. All indications are that the eruption will remain in the northeast rift zone, whatever that is, and that all the lava is going to follow a path and nobody's in any danger. Volcanic gas and possibly fine ash and something called Pele's hair, which is strands of lava glass, FYI, may be carried downwind. So question number 1, still go over it in a helicopter? And question number 2, like, is even sitting on the beach going to be fun if there's fine ash and lava glass falling on me? I don't know. This just seems unlucky.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, Liz. Yeah. Gonna have to trust the experts on this one.
It's a volcano, Liz. It's going to do what it's going to do, and that's, but
right.
Yes, I think the helicopter, it seems like they're not going to fly the helicopters if there's volcanic ash.
That's my feelings, because we were going back and forth on it yesterday. And of course, my friend is like, oh yeah, this is going to be even more excited if it's actually erupting while we're going. If it's not erupting, the idea that it just did and could again does kind of change the danger factor, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I would trust the experts on this one.
Okay, that's what I'll do. But she blew. That's it. That's all I can say. After 40 years, when I'm going there, the big volcano blows.
All right, stay with us. Up next, we have friendship news and Tuesday trends. Hey, Liz, did you know this holiday season, Masterclass is offering this great deal? Give 1 annual membership and get 1 free. Isn't that incredible for Satellite Sisters listeners?
That is incredible, Lian, because I am like a Masterclass fanatic now. I love my membership. There was a new one that dropped last week. It was Michael Pollan on intentional eating. Boom. I was on. It's really, really great. He's the best-selling author. He wrote that book, Omnivore's Dilemma. Did you ever read that?
Yes, I did. I love him. I'll listen to whatever he has to say because he has so many interesting things to say about food and the food supply and how we use it.
Yeah. So this is, it's intentional eating, but it's about how to skip the fad diets, but be more intentional about what you know about the food supply and what is good for you and sort of ethical decisions related to what you eat. So it's not just about what's good for you. It's also about what's good for the planet. And at the end of every chapter, Lian, you might enjoy this. There's a little assignment. He gives an assignment. After the chapter on eggs and what does all that crazy labeling mean? Some of it means nothing. He's like, just go to the grocery store and just stand there and just look at all the different cartons of eggs and see if you can figure out what do any of these things mean and which ones sort of match up with your ethical standards the best. So I did it. Yeah.
You were always a good student, Liz. Now, you don't have to be an A student like Liz to love Masterclass or to give the gift of Masterclass, but it helps. No, there are so many classes, 180 classes from a range of world-class instructors. The thing that you're interested in is probably on that list. I have enjoyed all the ones that I've taken about writing. They've been great, but this Michael Pollan one sounds exactly what we need to move into the new year. So we recommend that you check out Masterclass. This holiday, give one annual membership and get one free. How fun is that? Go to masterclass.com/sisters today. That's masterclass.com/sisters. Terms apply. Thanks, Masterclass. Julie, there's no truer way to say I love you than by taking care of each other. That's why this year, the gift of health is all you need. And with Everlywell, you can find 30 plus at-home lab tests for every person on your holiday list. Julie, do you have a health enthusiast on your holiday list?
I think that's one of my sisters, yes. But I do think this is a very thoughtful gift to give, because a lot of times you wonder what's really going on. And to have the convenience of an at-home test, I think is really helpful. And then you can take the results and discuss it with your doctor.
That's right. Everlywell is digital healthcare designed for you with personalized results and accessible tools for long-term health. You could give a gift of the women's health test, the food sensitivity test, the celiac disease screening. Those are just a few of the options, and Everlywell makes it super easy. They ship the product straight to you or your loved one with everything needed in one package. If you've ordered an at-home lab test, the sample can simply be collected at home and shipped back to a certified lab in the prepaid envelope included in the test. And digital physician reviewed results are sent straight to you in just a few days. So, Julie, that is a good gift. What do you think?
I do, Lian. I like it very much. I think I might order one of the tests for my husband. I've got one in mind. Like the metabolism test.
Yeah.
Let's see what's happening. Okay, let's do it.
Stocking stuffer for the health enthusiasts in your life. I love it. The gift of health has never been so easy to share than it is this holiday. For listeners of Satellite Sisters, Everlywell is offering a discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/sisters. That's everlywell.com/sisters for 20% off your next at-home lab test. everlywell.com/sisters. It's Lian, Liz, and Julie. We're the Satellite Sisters. We're back. Sisters, just a brief rest in peace to Irene Cara, who died over the weekend.
So sad.
Oh my gosh. For people of my generation, that movie Fame, we watched it a million times in the theater. We listened to the soundtrack over and over and over again. I know she was famous for the title song, but that whole soundtrack, I knew every single word. We listened with friends. We danced around our living room. She's just such a big part of such a specific time in my life. So talented, so lovely, too young to die in her mid-60s. Yes. So just thank you, Irene Cara. You gave me a lot of hours of pleasure when I was in middle school and high school. And thank you so much. I'm so sorry that she's gone.
That would be a fun movie to watch over the holidays with a group.
Yes.
So fun. I mean, I can picture whole scenes from that movie.
Right.
I know. I might want to dance to parts of it too. Yes.
Yeah. The hot lunch jam you're going to want to dance to. hot lunch. You're going to want to dance to that. Yeah. And then the TV show, which she wasn't in. But, then there was the TV show. I mean, I lived Fame for a long time. In my mind, that's where I went to high school. But that is not where I went to high school.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So as you mentioned, Lian, I have a couple of stories that were prominently featured lately in the New York Times about just generally on the subject of friendship and companionship and the importance of all of that as we age. And we always say to people when they ask us, like, if they've never listened to Satellite Sisters, I was like, I don't get it. Like, what is it? And we often describe our show as the sound of friendship. Like, what do you talk to your friends about? How do you talk about? That's all we're doing here. It's just about friendship. So Sunday's paper on the front page, above the fold, big headline, as Gen X and Boomers age, they confront living alone. And I thought, ooh, I love being part of a trend. That's great. I guess
good one, Liz.
More older Americans are living by themselves than ever before. Yay, me. I guess I should have been tipped off to the word confront, because once I dug into it, I was like, I'm not sure I'm really going for this. So basically, it's a whole study of people over 50 who live alone, and households headed by people over 50 are now 36% of all households. And so they said, like, older people have always been more likely to live alone, but now there are just more older people. There are just more Gen Xers and boomers than there are anything else. And they also said that women on the whole are a much bigger group of over 50s who live alone. And part of this is, the good news is, a lot of this is because of professional advancement, the ability to buy our own homes, financial independence. That means more women can do this, can afford to do this, are doing this. Now, the downside is then they go like totally down this hole of how research, it's unequivocal, sisters. They say research is unequivocal that people aging alone experience worse physical and mental health outcomes and shorter lifespans. To which I say, oh, shut up. Oh, shut up. I do not.
That's a scientific term, isn't
Yes,
it? Oh, shut up.
Well,
yes. Yes.
I'll just say, like, well, telling me that isn't going to help, is it? No.
Well, how do they even define alone? What if you have a pet? Does it that improves your life? What if you live in an apartment building that's very lively, like yours, Liz? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, what if you are playing pickleball 5 days a week? You're not really alone. Okay. See where I'm going with this?
No, I agree with you, Julie. I mean, but then they're really trying to bring me down. So it says, even with an active social and family life, people in this group are generally more lonely. Again, I say, shut up. And they're telling me that is not helping. But what was funny is, like, as soon as the paper came out Sunday morning, several single female friends of mine were immediately on a text chain like, hey, look at us. They're featuring us, like talking about us. We are a demographic trend. And then once we actually read deep into the story, we're like, oh, forget it. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I recommend you reading the story because it is kind of interesting that one of the issues that older people, male or female, living alone, face is that the housing stock in the U.S., there just aren't enough like small homes for people. If you're trying to say downsize, they show all the research about you're trying to downsize out of the 3-bedroom home you used to own into a smaller house, and they said an aging older house is now worth less than a lot of smaller, newer houses around the country. So that's one of the issues. But anyway, it all just goes back to what I've always said, that I need like a motel or a compound or like something that is more Melrose Place vibe than, say, assisted living vibe, right? I think like even if I could have a bunch of my friends move in next door here, I mean, I'm lucky that I do have a great relationship with my neighbors. But anyway, it just is, it's a lot to think about.
Well, go ahead, Lian.
Well, I think the answer is Golden Girls. That's it. I mean, the Golden Girls were so far ahead of their time in every aspect, but they were like women who lived together in a house. I know, but you want your own space. You think you want your own space. So, but
I think, I think maybe a compound of tiny houses. Well, maybe not tiny, medium, small houses, or even, just imagine like a Melrose Place. But
like a commune. That's what you're trying to. That's the word you're searching for. Yeah, a little commune. Yeah.
Right. I know I'm not alone. I would like to see comments in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group about what are your group living strategies, because I do have a lively social life and I have a lot of friends.
Absolutely.
And all of that is great. But like this story ends. I mean, they were really trying to kill us here. This story ends with a woman who lives alone, like getting shot and having a bad year as a result. Well, again, shut up. That was
okay. That's really shut up about that. I'm with that too. Okay.
So I think it can be done. I think we can age well together. So I'm working on it. So then on a related story, also in the New York Times, why can't men make friends? Or the actual headline is, why is it so hard for men to make close friends? Have either of you guys, hang on, I just knocked my mic up. Okay, so this story is, This also starts depressing, but this one picks up a lot more.
All right.
Okay.
I think that should be a new rule for anything we're talking about.
Just to end on a high note.
Yeah, where do we end? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So this starts with this just made me laugh. American men are stuck in a quote friendship recession. Well, okay. You have to call it a recession. I don't even know what that means. But that obviously that men, I think men and women later in life, it is just, you have to be more intentional about making friends, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you have to work with the daylight hours. People are not going to go out with you late at night. That's not happening. Okay, so you have a narrower window to work with. Right.
That's true. That's true.
I see with men though, based on the man in my life, and conversations with my female friends who have male partners, they just don't make new friends.
Yeah.
If they have friends, it's the friends they made in high school or college. I do think men, maybe as what you said, Julie, they don't expose themselves to new groups of people, either at schools or in teams or in charities or whatever. I see just anecdotally, it's a conversation I've had many times. Men have trouble making new friends.
Yeah. And I always assumed that they were fine with that, but not according to the research. The research says only half of men were satisfied with how many friends they have, and 15% had no close friends at all. So, I mean, that's sad. Lot. And that men are less likely than women to rely on their friendships to be an important part of their life. Well, that's true.
I can understand that, but it might not be a negative thing if they don't have friends. Maybe they're, their friend, they're fully satisfied with their relationship with their partner or spouse,
maybe children.
Yeah. I mean, how many friends do you have to have? Right.
Not that many.
One would be good. I mean, I think a couple of friends would be good, but to have friends, you have to be emotionally vulnerable. And I think that's what stops men a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what the story goes into. So they have a list of 4 tips about how to climb out of your friendship recession. But I think male or female, these are good tips. The number one, Lian, is practice vulnerability, even if it makes you uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so they have several psychologists talking about this, and they're like, yeah, you don't have to be just open yourself up all the time, but occasionally you should just tell your friend in some way what they mean to you, which doesn't mean calling them up specifically for the purpose of having a long, thoughtful conversation about what your friendship means. It's just after you do something together, just acknowledge that was great, or I really enjoy spending time with you, or some kind of emotional exchange. So that is
just love you, bro. Does that work?
Yeah, I just would wonder how men would react to this article. Okay, what their take is. Are they saying, "Oh, shut up"? Like the Liz Dolan response? I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, number 2 is don't assume friendship happens organically. Right. And I think this is really true. Maybe this is why, Lian, a lot of men still have the same friends they had in childhood, whereas women, we tend to be much more active about making new friends. And one thing that really got my attention here is putting yourself out there and making it clear you are looking for friends. Sounds fairly obvious, but you still have to make the effort to do it. And that research shows that, quote, people do like meeting new people. Well, yeah, okay. That you can believe it when you walk into a room that people are happy to meet you. And I don't know, maybe people don't understand that kind of everyone is interested in having a good time, having emotional connections with people. So I don't know. Research suggests people are usually better liked by strangers than they assume. Okay, that made me.
Okay.
Good to know.
That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear.
Yeah. Okay. The next is use activities to your advantage. This seems obvious. Men and boys tend to be socialized to do group activities side by side. So saying, let's go to the game together, or let's play poker, all of that. That is a good way to make friends. But they make the point in the article that occasionally, instead of just going for a run together or watching the game together, maybe just have lunch because, quote, you are forced to actually talk.
There you go. There you go.
I think this is way too much pressure for men. Like, I don't think we should nag any of the men in our lives to do this. They want to do it, fine, but
no, I agree. I think these are very constructive suggestions, really, for anyone, Julie, for men or women. And the last one is harness the power of casual check-ins. You know how there's been so much research lately about how just, texting someone or emailing them is actually much more powerful than anyone ever really knew. And that it's especially powerful with someone who gets a text from you and it's unexpected. So instead of thanks for dinner last night, just some sort of out of the blue hello.
Right.
So I think that's a really interesting one that everyone can do. And I actually know a bunch of guys that started doing monthly Zoom calls at the beginning of the pandemic, and they've really stuck with it. And they have what is alleged to be a super spicy text message chain now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
so good for them.
Yeah.
I say more text message chains for all of us.
Okay. That's not a face-to-face lunch where you're showing your vulnerability, but it's a start. That's good. Yeah.
It's a start. Just reach out. Something a little unexpected, have a little fun. I said that would be good for all of us.
Okay. All right, Liz. Interesting information on friendship. I like it. Thank you.
All right. Some Tuesday trends, sisters. Okay, Jean in our Satellite Sister Facebook group brought this up. I think we need to talk about the new trend that's emerging. We're seeing it on supermodels, and that is tights, no pants. Okay, you're ready to go out, Liz. You're ready to go out. You put that nice purple blouse on that you wore for the holiday. I saw it. That looked really good. Then you put on a pair of tights. And then you're ready, Liz. Then you can just put Uggs on or clogs or whatever.
Yeah, Julie, I think if I walked into a room wearing only tights, those strangers that were likely to like me, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Lian, it's the Bob Fosse look, Lian.
It is. I'm thinking
ballet ready.
Yes.
Okay, tights, no pants. Are you doing it, sister?
Yeah, I think only Anne Reinking could pull it off, and that's my statement. That's it. Only her.
I'm I don't know if Kendall Jenner wants to carry a $4,000 pocketbook and wear no pants, just tights. Okay, do it. All right. But there is a reason why they invented pants, right, sisters? Am I right? Okay, to protect the fish. Okay, there's a reason so you won't be cold. Okay, I don't know, but snazzy hosiery is totally in. Okay, so that it may be something. Maybe it's for if you have nice long legs like dancer legs, go for it. Just wear tights. It's no pants, but just keep in mind you have no pants on. So when you sit down, it's going to feel really cold or wet or bad. Okay.
I guess it's just a short step from yoga pants to tights, no pants, right?
Yes. And there's a sheerness involved here, Liz, that I think is part of the look. Okay.
Okay. You're right.
Okay. But if you're, please let us know, Satellite Sisterhood, if you're going with this tights, no pants, we want to see a picture of that. Okay. All right. I love this headline. I think this is so true. And I saw it over the Thanksgiving holiday because we went to the beach. If you are stressed out, grab a shovel and dig a hole. That apparently digging a hole, that compulsion is to dig, is deeply ingrained in our human psyche. Okay, that we like to dig holes, make big holes, build big tunnels. Now on TikTok, this is very popular. People are showing the holes that they've dug. But it can also be very peaceful. Just imagine, I was at the beach this weekend. Pretty much my entire family was digging a hole at one point,
Yeah, that's fun. Yep.
You can't help but not dig a hole. And I like this. So, Lian, do you feel that when you're a gardener, digging, is that feel good to you?
Yes, it does. It's very satisfying, super satisfying. Yeah. But then I'm done. I don't need to dig. Dig to the core of the earth. But but I, my sons like digging at the beach when they were little. We always brought a shovel. It always seemed weird to me, but Beric's like, just let him dig holes. So it's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Liz, I think if you're stressed out, go head down to the beach. You can dig a little hole. You don't have to dig a big hole. Okay.
Yeah, as long as you're at the beach. I think anywhere else, I just associate it with like burying a body, So yeah, no, but yeah, whole at the beach, pretty much everything at the beach is stress relieving. So I'm with you there.
Okay. And finally, our third trend. I love this word. I think this should have been the word of the year, not gaslighting. But how about this? Freud and Freud. Okay. We know what the opposite, the Schadenfreude, is where you take pleasure in other people's miseries or misfortune. But Freud and Freud is inspired by the German word for joy. And it's the bliss or the happiness that we feel when someone else succeeds, even if it doesn't involve us. Right?
Okay.
Nice. I like this. Yes.
I would just like to remind you that like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago on Satellite Sisters, when we were picking our like theme for the year in January, I took the word Schadenfreude and I Googled it. And I was like, what is the opposite of Schadenfreude? And the answer was not Freud and Freud. It was mudita, which is the Sanskrit word for taking pleasure in someone else's success. So, I'm way ahead of the Freud and Freud people on this, but I think saying mudita, maybe it's not as fun as saying Freud and Freud. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like I was on this trend before this latest made-up word came along.
Okay, well, it could be a made-up word, and you're right, Liz. You're always a trendsetter, but I think it's one we can all get involved in.
Yes.
Okay, I can't remember. I mean, I thought mudita was a lovely word, but try Freud and Freud in 2023. I think it's going to be great. It's the pleasure we feel when we're witnessing someone else doing well and being happy, and and many times you get this satisfaction from helping people, achieve their success. Okay. And that you find joy. It helps to foster your own resilience and improve your own life satisfaction. If you can get on the Freud and Freud train, I think we should all do this.
Yes.
Now they had some steps for it, but they seem pretty obvious, which is to show an active interest in other people's activities. Okay. That would be a good way to get down into the Freud and Freud world. Don't you think? They said to make eye contact. Yes. Do that, people. Okay. Listen to their stories. That's Freud and Freud. Okay. All right.
Maybe start some kind of hole digging group together. That could be a way to go.
Okay. So no one gets to the top by themselves. And when we all can, and when one person does, we're all elevated by that. So I love this trend. I'm on the Freud and Freud train, and I hope you all are too.
I think that's why people love weddings. It's just, I think it's just the peak Freud and Freud. Like when you're at a wedding where like you really believe in the couple, that's a really lovely experience. And so Freud and Freud, I like it. Okay, now we have time for our investigative report into air drying versus blow drying. Are you guys ready? Are you ready to have your mind blown?
Yes. Okay. I'm strapped in, Lian.
All right. Well, first of all, big thanks to the folks at Real Simple for doing the tough work on this. Hannah Hong, thank you so much. This whole article, there will be a link to it in the show notes. Now, here's the headline. I'll just ask a beauty editor. Is air drying or blow drying better for your hair? And then the subtitle is, the right answer is probably not your first guess. Oh, is your mind blown yet, Jewel? Yes. I know you're going to say automatically like air drying, right? Of course, that's better.
Yes.
That's a universally held belief, right? That blow drying makes our hair worse than air drying.
It dries it out. And
air drying, you're just like, that's like towel dry. You're just standing there in the air. Yeah, that's natural. But I guess that's worse for your hair.
It's worse for your hair. And here come the facts, Julie. Get ready. Okay. So there was a study at Yonsei University in Korea. You know, they love their hair in Korea, like Korean women, beautiful hair. So they compared air drying with heat drying. And researchers found that the hair's cell membrane, that's the material that glues hair cells together, was only damaged in the naturally dried group as a result of staying in contact with water longer. Listen to this explanation.
I do not understand.
I didn't understand.
It means sitting around with the wet head is not good for your hair membranes, Liz.
Oh.
That's what it is. When the cell membrane complex layer swells, it can weaken the hair over time. So the longer hair is wet, the worse it makes your hair over time after time after time of, say, you swim every day or say you shower every day. So the repeated like wetting and drying and wetting and drying and wetting and drying. Something called... I know. Is it making you nervous?
Yeah, it's making me very nervous. It means that you just have to jump out of that shower and just start blow drying the heck out of your hair. Is that what you're telling me, Lian?
I'm going to have some tips for you at the end of the story, Julie. But what I want you to know is what this phenomenon is called, because I want you to work this in to your next conversation with your hairdryer. It's called, or your salon, your hairdresser. Hygral fatigue. Okay, that is the repeated swelling of the hair. So it's the constant swelling and deswelling and swelling and deswelling of the hair can aggravate hair thinning and lead to more breakage. The worst case scenario, it just gets worse from here, you guys.
Oh my God.
Worst case scenario.
I'm going to have to dig a hole right now because I am so stressed.
Okay. So you and I, Julie, we have fine hair and it's going to cause the hair to stretch and appear more limp. This hygral fatigue. If you have textured or curly hair, which none of the satellite sisters were lucky enough to be born with, it's going to make your strands more frizzy. And in the worst case scenario, the damp environment is just going to be like a bacteria growth situation and lead to scalp problems. I mean, this is a lot of facts for you.
Okay,
I know
you're pushing me into the shut up category now, Lian.
All right. So here's what you need to do. And it is not exactly what you think. First, you want to pat your hair dry with a microfiber towel. Okay. Gentle, squeeze out excessive water, but do not swish it back and forth because that can also lead to breakage. Then you're just going to apply your hair products, including any heat protectants, leave-in conditioners, or detangling mists. Okay. Notice at no point yet have you used a comb, or God forbid you use a brush, according to this article. Okay. Then you're going to set the hairdryer on the lowest setting and move it in constant motion around your head until your hair is 80% dry. Okay. Just moving it around. Okay. Do not rush while blow drying, Julie. I know you're a rusher, but you're going to want to take manageable sections to evenly heat and dry your hair. Avoid using a brush or any other tool at this step.
What about a big roller brush? That's how I get my lovely little bob, Lian. What I have to
be patient. Well, it could be killing your hair, but whatever. Be patient. Your hair, once your hair is 80% dry.
Okay, that's
don't feel it's 80%. That's when you can gently brush out your hair with a soft bristled brush. Hair regains strength and elasticity at this point. It's just a little damp enough to be malleable. Best time to style. So there you go. I mean, you have it. That is investigative reporting of the highest order. I mean,
that is a lot. That's a lot of facts, Lian. When you said don't sit around with the wet head, that is something that Mom always said to us.
I know she did. She did. Oh my gosh! But that's it. I mean, I air dry my hair all the time. I just take a shower, go to bed with the wet head. That's what I do, and that is wrong. The hygral fatigue. Hydral fatigue alone.
God, I don't really even want to know about another kind of fatigue we could possibly have.
I know.
That's what I thought when I read that. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm sure I have it. Hygral fatigue. Ooh, what a segment. I mean, a lot of information in there. All right, stay with us. We're going to wrap up with some entertaining sisters. Julie, did you see that story in the New York Times this week about how matching pajamas are the statement for couples? Did you read that?
I think it's kind of cute. I like it. I mean, it's signaling that they're in a relationship. I think it's kind of nice.
It's totally cute. Totally cute. And you know where you can get those totally cute, super snuggly, soft matching jammies? At Me Undies. As soon as I saw the article in the style section, I was like, I know where the Satellite Sisterhood should go for their matching sets because they're adorable. They're in such fun prints. You know, we love that micromodal fabric. It's so comfy.
Perfect for the holidays when you're lounging around. Oh, Lian, great idea.
Great idea. So if you want to be in style and super comfortable, Where do you go, Satellite Sisters and Misters? You go to Me Undies. Spend less time gifting and more time living in the new Me Undies holiday collection. From undies and bralettes to PJ sets, Me Undies has something for every name on your list. Classic plaids for dads? How does that sound? Holiday sweater prints for the fun friends in your life, and the softest loungewear ever for all the cuddly ones in your life. And we love the inclusive sizing at Me Undies, from extra small to 4XL. Everything you need to make your favorite people smile this holiday season, all in one convenient place. And, maybe a little something for yourself this year, holiday your way with Me Undies. All right, Satellite Sisters, if you want to be in style and get your matching jammies and make your own personal statement on social media, go to meundies.com/sisters. You'll get 20% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Go to meundies.com/sisters. That's meundies.com/sisters. Thanks, MeUndies. We're back, Liz. We want to remind people the holiday wrap party is happening on Sunday, December 11th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Please do not come with a wet head. Please blow dry your hair. Please blow dry your hair.
Tights, no pants. Excellent idea. Yes.
Matching Me Undies jammies. Bring it. Yeah. Put it in there. Perfect. Love it. But we do want to remind you, it's going to be over there on YouTube. We want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. We want you to post your toast before the event. If it's a snappy, fun toast, we will read it on the air, but all toasts that are posted will be put into a drawing for a Satellite Sisters Pashmina. But Liz, they just go over to your post.
So if you go to the Satellite Sisters YouTube channel, which you can find by just typing in Satellite Sisters channel when you get to YouTube, you'll see that there is a graphic that says post your toast. You click on that. There's a short video for me that explains the post your toast contest. And then you just put your toast in the comments right under that video. So, and then all of those names will go into a drawing, and our favorite toasts will get shared during the holiday wrap party. And subscribe to the channel while you're there, Lian. Super simple, super duper simple.
There you go. So please do that. That will be fun. We're gonna gather on Sunday, December 11th. There will be a cocktail. My son Colin is working on that. I told him yesterday about the event. So for one thing at a time, as you can't really overload their schedules. They're not so don't worry. He's going to be there. He's going to get us a cocktail. It'll be fun. All right. Also, look what I did, Liz. What's happening there?
Well, yes, we keep remembering things we did in previous years that were really fun. So we're doing them again. And that's the way we feel about Look What I Did. Lian, you posted this in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group, right? It's just the asking people to post, like, think about your 2022. What did you accomplish that you are proud of, or that was funny, or that you want to share? And you can either post it there in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group in that Look What I Did thread, or if Facebook is not your thing, you can just email it to us, because we want to hear from everyone. And our email is hello@satellitesisters.com. So just email us hello@satellitesisters.com. So then in our final show of 2022, we are going to review some of the great things that everyone did over the course of the year.
Which is next week. So
next week.
Don't sleep on this. It's December 6th, our final show.
Okay. So for instance, we did get one already. We've gotten a bunch already at the email, hello@satellitesisters.com. This one jumped out to me, and this is from Tamara, who is a longtime Satellite Sister, and she emailed us. Hi, sisters. At the age of 61, I achieved a lifelong dream. My horse Marengo and I won national championship for our division at the Grand National and World Championship Morgan Horse Show in Oklahoma City this past October. Well, that's amazing.
Fantastic.
Amazing. She says thousands of qualified Morgan horses and riders and drivers from all across the country compete in our world championships. Stay noise.
That's wrong.
I'm sure that's not what it's called.
100% sure that's wrong.
Anyway, very impressive. It made me think of the current season of The Crown, where like Prince Philip is gallivanting around the world with his horse-drawn carriages and competing in that. So that's amazing. At age 61 to win a world championship in anything, bravo. So,
yeah, fantastic. That was a great one. Loved it. hello@satellitesisters.com. Yeah, we would love to read all these. And the ones on the Facebook page, even if you don't want to post them, worth reading because they're varied. Big, small, we don't care what it is. Just look what you did. Look what you did.
Okay.
Right. Entertaining sisters, a couple of recommendations, Liz.
Yes. Okay. So last week I asked the question, so what's going to be the big Thanksgiving holiday movie? And we didn't know. And but Glass Onion was one of the theories. So I went to see it, and I got to say, I highly, highly recommend.
That's good.
This is the Knives Out sequel. Did you guys see the original Knives Out?
Yes.
So I'll just say this. If you liked that, you'll like this. It's because it says all of the same charm to it. Of course, it still stars Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. But the story all is about a kind of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, master of the universe type guy named Miles Braun. And he's played by Edward Norton, who I always like. So he's this tech lord who invites all of his friends to his private island in Greece. And then things happen. So it's Leslie Odom Jr., Katherine Hahn, Kate Hudson, and Janelle Monáe is kind of one of the main co-stars here because she is the Miles Braun's former friend. So, there's a murder involved. So I think it's really silly. It's funny. And it definitely has an edge because there are loads of jokes at the expense of the super rich tech bro, which I think feels very timely. Feels very, very timely.
Excellent.
But the other thing I would say about this, it's a Netflix movie, and Netflix is only putting it out for a week, and then you can watch it on Netflix. So if you want to see it in the theater, which I did, you need to go right now. And there's actually a movie theater I just found in my neighborhood, like 3 miles from where I live, that Netflix owns. I had no idea. What have I been doing? Well, I've been home alone for the past 3 years. And anyway, so I saw it in a gorgeous movie theater. If you can see it in a theater, do. But it would definitely be a fun holiday movie with your family. So it's called Glass Onion. Highly recommend. Then the other thing I watched this weekend was on HBOMax, and it was Bruce Springsteen being interviewed by Howard Stern. And I really loved it. I mean, I love Bruce Springsteen. He tells this amazing story about being at Clarence Clemens's bedside and just like playing Land of Hope and Dreams for him as he died. So I was like sobbing, home alone. That was fine. But it's super emotional, and you get kind of a good playoff between Bruce and Howard Stern, because I think of them as like Bruce is your good narcissist and Howard Stern is your bad narcissist. But anyway, I really liked it and would totally recommend it.
All right. I watched about 5 minutes. I just can't stand Howard Stern. So to be honest, as much as I love Bruce Springsteen, I can't stand him. I watched the part where he had to apologize to Bruce for like trashing his wife on the air. Yeah. And I thought, okay, I'm out.
I mean, Howard Stern has objectied women for decades.
I know.
I can't watch him. No matter who he has on.
Okay.
I'm out.
I was willing to overlook the bad narcissist, but okay, I take your point. Well, if you would just like to spend a delightful evening with Bruce Springsteen, then like minus Howard Stern, remember his whole Broadway show is on Netflix. So maybe you should just watch that.
I think that's better for me.
Better idea. Better for me. Good recommendation. Yes.
Excellent. All right. I do want to remind people too that we put out a holiday book list with our own book, gift book recommendations. We'll have the books, the the link to it in the show notes here. It's over at bookshop.org. But if you're looking for cookbooks or novels or nonfiction or children's books, I even have some puzzles and games on the list. There's a lot of really fun titles there for the book lovers in your life. So we've already put that together, and it's there for you over at bookshop.org with lots of other book lists. So most of the books that we recommend on the show end up over at bookshop.org. It's just an easy way to accumulate book lists for us. So that's where we put it. All right. Big thanks. That's our show for today. Big thanks to Sergio Enriquez. Thank you, Sergio, for everything you do. Emily Loudermilk does our graphics. You can see her work at our Instagram page, on Facebook, or in Pep Talk, our weekly newsletter. Thanks, Emily, for everything. All right, sisters, our to-do list. I'm very excited. Tonight, I start my Hallmark holiday movie writing class.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that will be fun, Lian.
It's 3 nights of live writing coaching. It's a Zoom class, and with a writer, a producer, and a former Hallmark executive talking about like the elements of a Hallmark movie. Now, this is a writing class, so I think we all know the elements of a Hallmark movie if we watch them. So it's like, snowball fights and cookies and a lot of hot chocolate, but there's actually like a special act structure and things like that happen with Hallmark movies, which is not something, it's not how I write. So I do need to take the class, but I'm looking forward to it. I've been working on some ideas this week. I tossed out a couple yesterday, so working on some new ideas today to possibly move forward, but I will fill you all in next week on how the Hallmark Christmas movie writing class went. But I have been watching a lot of and analyzing a lot of Hallmark movies.
I think you're ready, Lian. I know you're going to be a star student. No doubt.
Lian, ever since you've mentioned this, I've thought this is perfect for you. I cannot wait until the next holiday season when we have a Lian Dolan Hallmark movie.
It's a lot of pressure to put on me, Liz. A lot of pressure,
okay.
But
All
I feel like I'm ready. In fact, when I mentioned it to my son Colin, he said, "Mom, I'm not saying this ironically. I think this is a good fit for you."
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll see. They're so squeaky clean. That's the thing. It's like, any edge. So I'm sort of curious, but they're expanding, I think, their definition a little bit over the last couple of years, which is good. But I realized I was working on a one that I thought would fit. I thought, when I really studied it, I'm like, this is just too edgy. I think it involves, corporate fraud and other mixed up identities. I was too edgy. I got to start.
I mean, we did see The Royal Nanny, Lian, so
yes.
I think that should be your benchmark.
I cannot wait to hear about this.
All right.
Okay. Well, my to-do list is right now, as we are finishing recording this show, the U.S. men are about to take the field against the Iran men in the World Cup. And I think we are all very tense, aren't we, sister?
Very tense. Very tense.
Yes. Yeah.
Team USA, go USA. We have
must win.
We have no idea what's going to happen. So if you're listening to this 2 days from now, whatever. Right now it's Tuesday morning and it's about to start. So that's what I will be doing as soon as we finish the show.
Yeah, we're full of promise. Okay, well, in addition to rooting for Team USA, I have to go to a ball this week. Lian, speak of Hallmark movie. Maybe I should watch some of those movies. I don't know. I know the organization that I volunteered with is being honored at a charity ball this week. So I have to get ball ready, which is, I think, a pretty high mountain to climb.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be Cinderella. Okay. I'm not going for that. Okay. I just want to get in the door. That's all I want to do. I want to be there when they recognize our organization. So, but I got a lot of work ahead of me, sisters.
Wow, that is just such a funny word, a ball, as opposed to just like it's formal. No, it's no. Ball.
This is a full-on ball. Yeah. Okay. And now with all these hair facts, you've really thrown me into a tizzy.
No tools to your 80% dry, Joel. Don't let it happen.
Oh my God.
And also, Julie, remember, as we learned, the research shows, as you walk into a room full of strangers, they do want to like you. They're trying to like you.
Oh, thanks, Liz.
All right, sisters, have a great week.
You too,
Lian.
Don't forget, call your satellite sister.